Good morning, good morning, good morning. Great Super Bowl Sunday morning. I hope everybody's doing well out there. I just want to say again, thank you for all the wonderful information, wonderful feedback that you guys have been giving me. Again, I'll be going live on Sundays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. Today, I want to talk about, because it's Super Bowl Sunday, I want to talk about purpose. So, when do you think the individuals that's playing in the big game today, when do you think they found what their purpose in life was? Pretty good question, right? Sometimes we live our lives trying to find our purpose external to us. Sometimes you can live your whole life looking for it like it's buried somewhere. Well, the challenge is if you actually stop for a moment and look in the mirror and really dig deep to find your purpose. Why? Because your Creator did not put your purpose somewhere in a high mountain or in a low valley. He actually placed our purpose inside of us. Like I explained to you guys before, growing up without a father, that led me to change my name. Then from changing my name, that actually led me to a place where I created a nonprofit organization called Grown Up Without a Father, all to discover my purpose. I read a book, and the book is The Purpose Driven Life by Rick Warren. And if you turn to page 17, 17 says, the first thing in that book it says, it's not about you. So when you understand that in terms of looking for your purpose is not actually about you. So again, when I actually changed my name, created a nonprofit organization called Grown Up Without a Father, I discovered that there was a lot of other people out there who were dealing with the same issues that I was dealing with in terms of growing up without a father. I remember T.D. Jakes, he said he did a sermon, and the sermon he talked about sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes your actual purpose is birthed out of your pain. I'm going to say that again. Your purpose can be birthed out of your pain. And you guys actually going through that traumatic experience of growing up without a father, I didn't realize that that was a part of my purpose. And my purpose was to help those who were going through that same scenario, not realizing that inside of that also I found that I have a gift to inspire people. Why? Because when you deal with something that traumatic, sometimes all you can see is the hurt and pain that's in front of you, not realizing that your true purpose is actually past that reality of dealing with that traumatic situation. So I ask you again, what is your purpose, right? So when you dig a little bit deeper in trying to find and understand that, I read a book, and that book has 66 chapters. And in one of those chapters, it was an author by the name of Matthew. And somewhere in that 7th chapter, he says, ask, and you shall receive. He says, seek, and you shall find. He says, knock, and it shall be opened unto you. So sometimes we actually look for our purpose externally, like I said. But if you actually look in the mirror and you ask your Creator, why am I here? What is my purpose? And sometimes you'll find that it may be different than what you think it actually is. Why? Because of some of the pain and trauma. And also, it could be on a positive note, whereas you could have experienced some things in life that make you feel good. But sometimes there's a challenge. Okay, I like to do this, but how do I monetize that in which I like to do? See, that's a whole different question. But your purpose, meaning that what you were created here to do, is bigger than you. If you just think that your purpose is just to satisfy something that you feel that you should do and you should become, it's actually a little bit larger than that. So, like I said, if you really, really want to dig deep down inside, actually your Creator buried our purpose inside of us. So, for instance, I use myself in that example again. I'm doing these lives, all right? When I first started, of course, I was afraid, fearful. You get the jitters. But the more and more that I do, I realize that I'm walking in my purpose. I'm walking in my destiny. And a part of that is to inspire people to live a life that's larger than their reality. Because sometimes, you guys, when we deal with different things in life, we kind of get stuck right there. We kind of can't see past that. So, for example, I'm in the process of writing my second book, right, about the actual situation of growing up without my father. And to be perfectly honest with you, I'm having a hard time because what I'm realizing is dealing with growing up without a father was traumatic for me, right? So I'm taking it from my head and it's piercing my heart and I'm writing it down on paper. And when it pierces my heart, I start to cry. I start to leak because it's so deep. Ooh, it's so deep. Excuse me. It's so deep. But the reason why I'm doing it is I understand that it's not for me. It's to help those and free those who may have went through the same experience that I went through. And sometimes we don't realize that the things that we experienced and went through actually are not for us. But we hold on to it like we're the only person throughout the whole entire world that's feeling and experiencing that. But that's absolutely not true. If you can look and think past that, I promise you, you'll find something inside of there that resonates with your spirit, right? That you can attach to and realize that that thing that he allowed you to go through. Now, the reason why I say that is because you're still here, right? If it was meant to stop you, you wouldn't be here anymore. But you're still here. So you know what that means? You made it through. Now take a moment, look in the mirror, and look back. And just think about how many other people that you actually can help that went through the same exact thing that you went through. But you don't realize, and you won't even know how many people went through it until you start to talk about it. And I promise you, ladies and gentlemen, to talk about the traumatic situation with myself, growing up without a father, I didn't even realize how bad it impacted me until later on, and I look back and I realize, and now I have to write about it. Why am I writing about it? I'm writing about it to help free those who are still in bondage, to help free those who are still experiencing that pain. And then on top of that, I have that gift to help inspire people. Why? To help them see and expand their vision past their current reality of what they're facing. So again, on this Super Bowl Sunday, I ask you, what is your purpose? This is Thomas Taylor III. You guys go out there and have a marvelous day. Until we speak again.